wherever a nation suffers in the wake of a natural or man-made disaster.
For more than 40 years, the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, has been in charge of America's overseas aid. Now, as part of a revitalized U.S. foreign policy, one that's supposed to restore America's image abroad, U.S. President Barack Obama wants USAID to play a bigger role. On the campaign trail, candidate Obama promised to build a modern development agency. And he said,
I will double our foreign assistance to $50 billion by 2012.
But 9 months into his term, President Obama still hasn't found anyone to run USAID. Erin Thornton runs a grassroots campaign called One, which helps fight extreme poverty in developing African nations. She says increasingly, private campaigns like One are taking over the role the aid agency once filled.
We're still under guiding legislation that was passed in 1961. Lots happened since 1961, and so instead of revitalizing it as a whole, we've done piecemeal improvements, and that's how we've gotten this sprawling approach to development.
That's because during the previous Bush administration, USAID morphed into more of a contracting agency, with lots of money being spent, often with little oversight and accountability from USAID. Inside this enormous office building is the headquarters for USAID. The sheer size of the agency may explain why it's been so tough trying to find someone to run it. Few people seem to want the job of managing, let alone reforming such a sprawling government bureaucracy. Still, aid groups say if assistance is a White House priority, then why is the top aid job still open?
It depends on It depends on the White House, of course. It depends on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. But we look forward to having somebody soon.
Many in the development community fear the ongoing vacancy means the White House is considering folding USAID into the State Department.
We've got to decide what development means in the 21st century, and the agency will have to adapt accordingly. And that's the discussion that's taking place right now, and I personally think it's a positive thing.
The White House is still weighing its options on what to do. 2 working groups have been set up and are scheduled to report back in January. Kimberly Halkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.